everyone, and welcome back to CoinTalk Podcast for another deep dive.
You got it.
Today, we're going to be looking at Ethereum.
Yes, we are.
And specifically, its price potential.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, we're looking at an article from crypto.news,
Okay.
published February 18th, 2025.
All right.
And the title is, Ethereum price could surge to $5K as fresh catalysts emerge.
$5,000.
Now, that's a pretty bold statement.
It is.
So we're going to be looking at that. And
Breaking it down.
yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Trying to figure out, what are these catalysts?
Let's bring on.
And is this a realistic price target?
Yeah. So maybe we should start with, where is Ethereum at right now?
Yeah, let's set the stage.
So as we're recording this, Ethereum is sitting at about $2,700.
Okay.
Which is actually a 35% dip from its peak in November.
Ouch.
Yeah, 35%.
That's a pretty big drop.
That's a sizable drop. However, this is about where it was trading a year ago.
Oh, wow.
So it's interesting. It seems to be kind of going through these cycles.
Okay, so what's driving this potential surge that the article's talking about?
Well, they highlight three main catalysts.
Okay, let's hear it.
The first one is Wall Street's appetite for Ethereum.
Ah,
We're seeing these spot Ethereum ETFs,
okay.
and they've seen consistent inflows since they were launched,
Oh,
totaling a whopping $3.15 billion.
that's a lot of money.
It is indeed, and in the past 10 days, they've seen daily inflows for 7 of them.
So it seems like institutional investors are really starting to take notice.
They are definitely showing interest.
But why now what's making them so bullish on ETH?
Well, I think there's a growing understanding of the potential of crypto as an asset class.
Okay.
And Ethereum in particular is really being recognized for its role in things like DeFi and NFTs.
Right, and for anyone who's new to CoinTalk Podcast, ETFs are like baskets of assets that you can invest in.
Exactly.
So these ETFs are specifically designed to track the price of ETH, which makes it easier for big institutions to get involved.
And that's a really important sign of Ethereum kind of growing up.
Maturing,
exactly.
All right, so that's one catalyst. What's the next one?
So the next one is that we're seeing declining ETH balances on centralized exchanges.
Okay, so people are moving their ETH off of exchanges,
That's right.
which suggests that they're not looking to sell.
Exactly. They're moving it into self-custody.
Okay,
So essentially taking it off the market.
interesting. So they're holding strong.
They believe in the long-term potential.
They're O-dealing.
They're O-dealing strong.
Right, and what about the third catalyst?
This one is all about the competition.
Okay.
We've seen Solana make some noise in the crypto world, but Ethereum is actually gaining ground when it comes to decentralized exchange transactions.
Interesting. So we're talking about DXs here.
Exactly. Decentralized exchanges are those platforms where you can trade crypto without a central authority.
And this is a big part of DeFi.
It's the heart of decentralized finance.
For all of our viewers, if you want to learn more about DeFi, we've got tons of deep dives on our CoinTalk Podcast YouTube channel, so check those out.
Yeah, go down that rabbit hole.
But back to ETH versus Solana.
In the past 24 hours, Ethereum has handled over $2.28 billion in DX transactions.
Wow.
And Solana, on the other hand, has been facing some setbacks like the Libra meme coin rug pull.
Oof.
Yeah, that really shook some people's confidence.
So maybe some of those Solana users are starting to look back to Ethereum.
It's possible Ethereum has that longer track record and a more established developer community.
Yeah, that definitely counts for something in this space.
It does.
So it seems like Ethereum is really solidifying its position.
Absolutely. And these three catalysts, the institutional investment, the move to self-custody, and the increasing DX dominance, they're all painting a very positive picture.
It's looking bullish.
Very bullish.
Okay, so we've talked about some of the fundamental factors driving this potential price surge. But on CoinTalk's podcast, we like to look at things from all angles.
Yeah, got to get the full picture.
So let's get a little technical.
All right, let's dive into some charts.
The article mentions some technical analysis, which can give us some more insights.
Yeah, technical analysis is all about looking for clues in the price charts to see if we can anticipate any future movements.
So what are the charts telling us about ETH?
Well, if we look at the short-term chart, we see something called a death cross.
Death cross. That sounds scary.
It can be a bit ominous.
So what does that mean exactly?
Basically, you're looking at two lines on the chart that represent different moving averages.
Okay.
And when these lines cross downwards, it forms what looks like a pair of scissors kind of cutting down, and that's the death cross.
Oh.
And it's generally considered a bearish signal.
So does that mean we could see a dip before things start going up?
It's definitely a possibility. Yeah, short-term momentum might be weakening.
Okay, but remember, everyone, technical analysis isn't a crystal ball.
Right, it's just one piece of the puzzle.
Sometimes it feels like reading tea leaves.
You know, it can be a bit subjective.
All right, so the short-term chart's looking a little iffy, but what about the long-term picture?
Well, that's where things get interesting. When we zoom out and look at the weekly chart, we see an ascending triangle pattern.
Ascending triangle, and that's
The
a...
bullish signal.
Okay, so for our CoinTalk podcast viewers who maybe aren't familiar with all the chart patterns, can you explain what an ascending triangle is and why it's considered bullish?
Sure. So imagine a triangle on the chart, right? The bottom line of the triangle is sloping upwards gradually.
Okay.
And the top line is horizontal, kind of like a ceiling, and the price is bouncing between these two lines.
So it's like building up energy.
Exactly. It's like a coiled spring. And because that bottom line is ascending, it means that buyers are getting more aggressive and they're pushing the price higher over time.
Gotcha. So it's like it's ready to break out.
Right. Once it breaks above that top line, that horizontal resistance, then we often see a significant upward movement.
And for ETH, that resistance level is around...
$4,061.
Okay, so if it breaks above that, that's a big signal for the bulls.
Yeah. That's when things could get really exciting. And there's another pattern that's adding to the bullish sentiment.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah. It's called a megaphone pattern.
Megaphone. Now, what does that look like?
Think of it like an actual megaphone.
Yeah.
The price is oscillating between these two diverging trend lines, so it's getting louder and louder as it moves towards the end.
So we've got this ascending triangle building up pressure, and then a megaphone pattern amplifying it.
It's a recipe for a potential breakout.
But of course, these patterns take time to play out.
Patience is key in the crypto market.
Yeah, that's a good reminder for all of our CoinTalk podcast viewers out there. Don't FOMO into any trades. Always do your research, invest responsibly.
Couldn't agree more.
Speaking of responsible investing, let's talk about some price targets. If these bullish signals do come true, what kind of price action could we realistically see?
Well, the article suggests that if ETH breaks above that key resistance level of 4,061, it could set the stage for a move towards its all-time high.
Which is?
4,945.
So from there, 5,000 doesn't seem so far-fetched.
Not at all. It'd be a huge milestone for Ethereum.
It would really solidify its position as a top player in the crypto world.
Absolutely. But remember, technical analysis helps us identify these potential scenarios.
Doesn't guarantee anything.
Right. Always got to keep that in mind.
Okay, so we've covered a lot in this deep dive. Institutional interest holders moving to self-custody, the rise of DeFi, and some pretty compelling chart patterns.
Ethereum's a busy bee.
It really is. There's a lot going on.
It's a dynamic space for sure.
All right, so welcome back to CoinTalk Podcast, everyone. We're wrapping up our deep dive on Ethereum.
It's been a good one.
It has been, and honestly, I'm feeling pretty bullish after all this research. You know?
There's a lot to be excited about.
Yeah, we've got institutional investors jumping in.
Definitely.
We've got people moving their ETH off of exchanges into self-custody.
Holding strong.
Holding strong, yeah. And then we've got those technical patterns.
These charts are looking pretty juicy.
They are, so it really makes you think about the bigger picture, you know?
It does. Where does Ethereum go from here?
Yeah, like, could it actually become the leading cryptocurrency?
Ooh, that's the big question, isn't it?
It is. I mean, can it dethrone Bitcoin?
Well, that's a tough one to answer.
I know it is, but let's speculate a little.
Okay, I'm game.
So what would have to happen for ETH to really take the lead?
I think first and foremost, we need to see continued innovation and growth within the Ethereum ecosystem.
So more than just DeFi.
DeFi is huge, but it can't be the only thing. You know, we need to see new use cases emerge.
And for our viewers who are just starting their crypto journey, DeFi stands for decentralized finance.
Right. It's all about building financial applications on the blockchain without the need for those traditional intermediaries.
So things like lending, borrowing, trading.
Exactly. All without banks.
It's a pretty revolutionary concept.
It is. And Ethereum is currently the main platform for DeFi development, which is a big advantage.
But it can't get complacent.
Definitely not.
There's always room for improvement.
Absolutely. We need to see improvements in scalability and transaction speeds, especially if we want to see mainstream adoption.
Right, because those are some of the criticisms that people have about Ethereum right now.
Yeah, the network can get congested and fees can be high.
So that's something that needs to be addressed.
Definitely. But they are working on it.
And what about the environmental impact?
That's another important factor. Ethereum's switch to proof of stake was a big step in the right direction.
Right, it's much more energy efficient than Bitcoin's proof of work system.
Yeah, sustainability is becoming increasingly important for investors.
So it seems like Ethereum has a lot going for it, But we can't forget about Bitcoin.
Of course not. Bitcoin is still the OG.
It's got that first mover advantage, and a lot of people see it as a store of value, like digital gold.
Yeah, it's a hedge against inflation.
But Ethereum's functionality as a platform for all these decentralized applications gives it a unique edge.
It does. It's not just a currency, it's a whole ecosystem.
So it's not really an either-or situation.
Right. It's more like they can both coexist and even complement each other.
Like apples and oranges.
Exactly. They each have their own strengths and weaknesses.
And that's what makes the crypto space so fascinating.
It really is. It's constantly evolving. There's always something new to learn.
So for everyone watching CoinTalk Podcast, keep doing your research. Keep exploring.
Don't be afraid to dive down those rabbit holes.
And if you want to learn more about all these fascinating crypto topics, we do deep dives right here on CoinTalk Podcast. So hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications.
Yeah, join the community.
And while you're at it, give this video a like and leave a comment below. Let us know what you think about Ethereum's future.
We love hearing from our viewers.
And don't forget to share this video with your friends who are interested in crypto. Let's spread the knowledge.
Absolutely.
All right, that's it for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and as always, stay curious.
See you in the next one.